You guys have asked about Windshield PPF. So we're not launching yet, but we are gonna show you. Is it worth it? Let's find out today. So I got this Windshield PPF. This is actually from Hexis, and this is called BF Shield. And this is interesting. And the reason why we have not launched like DIY windshield protection is that it just doesn't last long enough. A lot of the windshield that is out there really only lasts a year at best, and a lot of times it doesn't last the whole year. And part of the reason is if you look at the windshield, you got windshield wipers. And when it rains, well, it wipes. And then basically it has a coating on top of it, and it tends to degrade that coating. And over time, it kind of delaminates or does something. And there's a number of brands that have done this. And that's like, at first they'll like launch like the warranty at a very, very high warranty. And their warranty tends to drop down for some reason all of a sudden later down the line. And they're just not able to support that kind of level of warranty. And you know, I think for our customers, if you have, let's say, a Bugatti, I don't know, or a Lamborghini, and your windshield cost a lot of money, thousands of dollars, then this makes total sense. And those are usually not road warriors. They're not daily drivers. So you do want to protect the windshield. And also it's usually really well kept and garage kept. So I think this product, Windshield PPF, has gone a lot popular amongst that exotic cars. And some people still put it on their Tesla, but like I said, it lasts like almost less than a year, like 6 months to 12 months, and that's about it. And the other thing is, since we have FSD, we have auto wipers. We cannot control when we use wipers. So even if you have a hydrophobic coating, we have a sensor in the front of our Tesla that basically, okay, it's raining, so I'm gonna use the wiper whether you like it or not. So you can't really control that. And that's part of the reason why this tends to degrade even faster, okay? So I have actually not installed this ever. So I want to disclose there. Okay, I'm not gonna say I'm a guru here, but they did give me a lot of resources on how to do this. First off the bat, this film feels very, very strong, meaning like it has a lot of kickback. Like you see this, it has a lot of energy on the film. Partly because it's really, really thick. All right, so I do have another table here because it was just I didn't like how it was creating wrinkles in certain areas. So I'm just gonna go ahead and roll this out. You can just roll it out, I'll just hold it right here. It feels thick though, wow. Very, very different feeling than huh. Okay, I see. I'm gonna put my phone here so it doesn't curl back. But it's so aggressive right now that look what it's doing right now. It's creating all this like wrinkles right here. Well, that's crazy. It's like tunneling because it's so thick. Is there like a cap sheet on top of this? There is a cap sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that because this is gonna help me a lot. Look at this. Oh yeah, this is gonna help me a lot because it's just gonna. So we got a bunch of tint tools. It's actually not like tint, it is TPU. So what that means is traditionally the windshield protection, when it first came out, it was very similar to tint. So you had to shrink it into the concave of the glass, and it looks flat, sort of. I mean, it doesn't actually look flat. But there is a concave to most glasses, right? The only one that has really very minimal is like the Cybertruck side windows. The beauty about some of what's been going on in the industry is that there's been a lot more TPU based, which means you just stretch it into place, okay? So first things first, I'm just looking at the pattern that I got, and if you look at this, it has this weird kind of cutout, and it's because it goes all the way to the end of the glass. So the first thing that you actually want to do is you actually want to remove this right here. I actually have one of this removed already. You see right there. This is just the nozzle for the, windshield wipers. The fluid? Yeah, the fluid. And then this is usually a 15 millimeter. Go ahead and get that removed. And just put it aside. And the trick here is you just kind of push this down and move this. Like you push this down, okay? And then it'll come out like that, right? You just need to add a little bit of pressure. This usually is just a nozzle. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take this out. Right here, same thing guys, just take out the nozzle. So once you do that, you have clear access to the actual glass. And then now you can push it all the way in, okay? So the first step that you wanna do is you wanna get all your stuff ready. Typically you have a Tack solution, which is typically like alcohol, but sometimes you just do distilled water. This is a slip solution, which is just dishwash soap. And then we got some tint tools, we got some cleaners and stuff like that. One thing I did forget is some scrubby pads. But we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. And we're just gonna be spraying the glass. And I am probably gonna get a little platform because it's hard for me to get to kind of like that middle range right here. Also, a really good idea to just wash your car before doing this. I did not do that, didn't have time, but that's definitely something that you want to do. And I think the reason why what I'm going to actually do with this too, is I'm going to keep this on for like, I don't know, at least a month, and then we're going to do another video, like how did it fare? Is it worth it? And I know you guys are probably asking me this, can you make it DIY? I've went away from that mainly because one, I can't guarantee, it just, to me as an actual consumer of the car itself as well, it just doesn't make sense for me to offer this because you're gonna have to change it every 6 to 12 months. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this film isn't that cheap. It's not like just vinyl or something like that. Vinyl is probably the cheapest. This isn't cheap at all. So for you guys to like every 6 months to pay, I don't know, $500-600, I have no idea what the pricing is gonna be, but something like that to me does not make sense. I don't know, maybe I'm just not in tune with this, but do you guys think that you would pay? Some of you guys just break glasses like nobody else. Like, I don't know, like, I think I know who I'm referring to. I'm not gonna name any names, but we're just gonna go ahead and use this little thing right here. That's so much easier. Like I said, you can use clay bar as well if your glass is really dirty. I think I'm okay. I'm actually gonna start from the top.
Has that the clarity also been an issue?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day for sure, but I feel like clarity has just gotten better and better with films in general, just like the adhesive. It's a lot of times the clarity issue is due to the adhesive. Like it's just not, because you know, like underneath the film, the construction of the film, there's always an adhesive layer. And when it gets to that adhesive layer, that's when it starts to fail, right? It starts to fail. Or not fail, but it creates like distortion in the actual film, right? So I mean, that's kind of what's happening for the most part, okay? So I got that all cleaned out. I'm gonna actually get my Blue Max. This is a very popular tint tool that I think most tinters are familiar with. And I would also get a towel. Because the other thing, there was a trainer from Hexis, I should watch a video. He did a fantastic job explaining. But a lot of times the contamination, where do you think it comes from? You, yourself. Like you're actually bringing the contamination back in. So you want to make sure that you're not reintroducing some of this dirt back into this area. And that's really the bulk of dirt control, right? Whenever you're doing this. And if you notice, I start from the top. It's very important as well. Once I get to the bottom, I just kind of, it's kind of hard. Whoops. Lastly, we're going to spray a lot. And guys, do not do this after your car's been out for like 4 hours out in the sun and then bring it in and do it right away. That sounds like common sense, but sometimes we forget that. So just make sure that you're not doing it when it's blazing hot on your windshield, and windshield gets really hot. You're gonna struggle with some of that install, okay? Okay, so here, go ahead and spray. It feels so much different once it's like okay, so coming around, just spray insane amount, like you've never sprayed before. So off the bat, feels very, very similar.
This one?
Yep. Ready? And we're just gonna go ahead and put it on top. Or at least do our best. Don't hit that. All right, go a little higher up and then we're gonna slide it in. All right, that was kind of stressful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of move it around. And you can see, one thing is I kind of, a lot of times, oh, actually, no, that's fine. I have this kind of moving around pretty well. And we're gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, look at that. This is pre-cut, guys, from BF Shield, which is a Hexis company. They're actually based out of France, but they have got US-based operations here. They're good people. Kind of folded over itself, you see it? Mm-hmm. A little bit, but there you go. It goes all the way down, as you can see. And I'm gonna just make sure that this one as well. All right, so I'm just kind of aligning everything right now. So like right here, it goes all the way to the glass. And you actually, just like PPF, you want it right to the edge. So the cut is actually quite nice. It's a good job, Hexis, on that pattern. Pretty nice pattern, actually. And you're just getting rid of all these bubbles and all that crap, honestly. So I think what I'm gonna do, actually, is just do my best to align one side and then the top as well. And then I'm just gonna pull on the other side. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna go ahead, just do my best. Okay. By the way, guys, this needs to dry, and it takes a couple hours or maybe several hours to fully kind of settle in. So like the clarity might not be fully there yet right off the bat. Just wanted to be clear about that. And then right now I'm kind of pulling it in. Is it moving on that side? Can you just tell me?
Oh, is it moved?
Yeah. Has it moved?
Yes.
It did move?
Yes.
Oh shit. No. Yeah, I think I gotta use Tack. I wanna do that. So here's the thing about Windshield PPF. Sorry guys. Is you don't really have as much play in how often you can try this. So you kind of gotta get it right, and this is kind of what I'm saying is like, it's just a lot easier with two people and kind of get your whole system set up, and then you guys just do it all at once together. That's far more efficient than like one person, what I'm doing right now. But I am gonna try this. I'm gonna go ahead and just flush all this out. Right off the bat, looks good. If you look over here on this side, there's about, what would you say, ½ inch? Yeah. Like a ½ inch gap. So before I do this, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray. So I'm gonna go ahead and basically just squeegee rest of it down. We're gonna go ahead. Nice 50% overlaps. So overall, this glass side looks fantastic, as you can see. Try to go one motion all the way. It's kind of hard to see. It goes all the way in. So just make sure, really convincing strokes. I think this is also a little bit different from PPF. I think PPF, we tend to do more like, we call it like stabbing motions. Like every 6 inches, we're kind of moving the water around. This one is more like, I don't know, more, I think you kind of want smoother, one really hard stroke, right? When I do this, I kind of just make sure it goes out. Just like that, okay? I want to do that one more time, actually. Windshields do break, and when it breaks, it's kind of an inconvenience. You got to get it replaced, and it's just a lot of work. So, I mean, I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people do ask about it. And also, there's like deductibles you can get just for a windshield if you look at insurance. And then on top of that, if you do claim that, sometimes your insurance rates could go up. So people just don't like claiming stuff on insurance, I think. So I think this is also why people ask about this. Like I said, this is so much easier than what it was, right? So remember, what it used to be was heating this and then basically shrinking it. It's not easy. That was definitely not DIY-able. And then also that film was just not very durable. All right, so this is another step that you want to do as well, is I want to actually do this one more time. I'm going to put a lot more force in it. I think I do need to sand my blue max. You can see my streaking over here a little bit. I like this though. This is called a blue max, right? Because you get leverage with that grip and you just get a lot more oomph in it. Whereas like those green squeegee right over there. And then I got a little finger right here. Just kind of spray. But I'm curious, if you're watching at this point, I'm curious, how much would you pay for a DIY kit to do your windshield? But you have to do it once every 12 months. Right? That's just what the product is right now. So how much would you pay? And is it worth it? Or is it a waste of time? You tell me. You know, not me. I don't want to tell you. I have my opinion about it, but my opinion is not that important right now. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe it all down right here, especially the edges right here. When we had the Cybertruck, I was kind of scared about my windshield breaking all the time. It's just so massive, and it is quite expensive. It's actually not as expensive as I thought. but it's still pretty expensive. All right, so we got this down. This has to dry. So right now, you're gonna see some rainbowing, a little bit of areas that might just need to dry, but I believe it takes a couple or several hours for it to completely kind of dry. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on, because I should, right? And you wanna flatten it out. And then this is just gonna go right in here, all the way in. And then you got a 15 mil right here. You flatten this out. It's a little bit easier than I thought. There is a torque spec for this. You should follow that, which I need to look that up. Just put this little cap on. So I know that typically for these windshield protection, you're supposed to coat them. It does come with some sort of a top coating, but right off the bat, let's go inside and just see through it. And
We also could probably clean the inside.
yeah, we definitely didn't clean the inside, but like this one is definitely from the inside. And I saw a bug right there, over there, just resting there. But overall, like I don't see a whole lot of haze, and it's gotten way better than I remember about a year and a half ago when I first started looking at front windshield protection. And I just didn't like the haze that you saw when you were like looking at it from an angle. I think, I'm not gonna say that there's none, but it's definitely minimal, right? But the real test is this, right? When you go here, all right, close the door.
Okay.
Is when you do this, right? But here's the thing, every time we do that, there's no what we call like, what is it called, stuttering, right? But every time you do that, you're actually, especially if your windshield wipers are dirty, it's gonna basically degrade the film every time you do that, like that. But like I said, like the thing about this is we have the camera right here. So when it realizes that it's a little dirty, it's gonna start doing that. So it's not like we have a control over it. So I would highly recommend putting a ceramic coating on top as well. And I think that is a highly recommended thing. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna ride like this for a number of weeks. And then we're probably gonna do another video, a month update video, and just see. And we also wanna just hear from you, like, is this worth doing? And at what price point does it make sense to do it? But I would say like there's a lot of new technology coming out. There's a lot of good products coming out. And I can see it happening in the future. It's getting better and better, especially from 2 years ago. So like, I feel very confident. I'm gonna keep this on. The first one that I put almost 2 years ago, I didn't like it. I took it off immediately. And this was after a couple hours, so I did let it settle. And right now, I'm gonna be honest, like, I probably could have done a little bit better installing, but for the most part, all of the main areas is pretty clean. I didn't see any giant bubbles or bubbles in general. Most of the kind of like the dirt was from the inside. I didn't clean the inside windshield. You probably should do that before you start. But that is how you do the front windshield. I mean, it's not that much different in a way. It's almost like doing a hood, except the film is a little bit more, it's thicker. It's a little harder to work with in some ways. Please have a friend, give them a beer, and then have them help you. That will help you so much more, because think about it. One person can pull here, really align here. Another can pull here, get rid of all the fingers, and then you just split, and you split and divvy it up, and then you do it all at once. It'll be like 5 minutes compared to like, you saw what I did. I had to kind of go back and forth and so on. So do you have to remove this wiper arm? I would highly recommend doing so. It's just a lot easier. It's just 2 nuts, right? 2 bolts, 15 millimeter, and then it kind of comes out fairly easily if you haven't ever done it. But now it goes all the way in. And why do we need to do that? And you're probably wondering, why doesn't the template just go right to the edge of that? Well, think about it. If it goes here, my wiper starts here, it's gonna get caught every single time. So it's very important if you are gonna do windshield wiper, it is below the windshield wipers. It has to be. So you can see mine goes right up to the edge, right? If I were to sell this, I would edit the template maybe just a tiny little bit. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a template's fault. I just need to do a couple more testing. But I really appreciate the film from Hexis. This is BF. This is really, really good so far. So if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Really curious to hear what you guys think about the windshield protection. Is it worth it for your Tesla? Yes or no? Leave us in the comments below. Click on that subscribe button and we'll see you later.